Natural? 51 years old?
What do you think of Tyson and Jake?
I wish he didn't do it. I wish it wasn't a thing. I wish it wasn't a thing where a 58-year-old guy was going to fight a 28-year-old. That said, that out the window.
If you're Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
If you're Mike Tyson, you know. I mean, even Paul, bro. Paul is not a small guy.
No.
He's big. Like, a lot of guys think he's tiny. He's a huge boy.
He's a big dude, and he can crack.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan just exposed what might be the biggest scam in boxing history, and yes, it's exactly what you think. The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, apparently faker than a reality TV audition. Reports suggest that Mike Tyson, the same guy who once terrified opponents before the bell even rang, was allegedly pressured into holding back. A 58-year-old boxing legend, possibly forced to take a dive for safety or image reasons. Also, Jake Paul, the internet's most overhyped YouTuber, could pretend he pulled off something impressive.
Celebrity, this was not something for some charity. No. We're going to do this. And Jake Paul, they asked Jake Paul, did he take his foot off the gas? Stephen A., this is what he said. Yeah, definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
And Joe, he's done being polite. He's calling out the scripted nonsense in the circus act we all, unfortunately, witnessed. Mike Tyson fans are furious, and rightfully so. It's almost poetic, in a tragic way. We were all riding high on the hype of Tyson's return, convincing ourselves it's Mike Tyson. He's got this. But now we're choking on humble pie, realizing just how badly we misread the whole thing.
Just forget that Jake Paul is a YouTube guy and watch him box.
Yeah.
The kid can fight, 100%. And that Tommy Fury fight really showed that. I mean, it goes to a split decision against a legit undefeated boxer.
Yeah. He doesn't, I'll tell you what, the one thing he doesn't want to do is fight Mike.
No.
He wants to fight Mike, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't give a if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson.
He was young. He was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped. No one had the solution. And I submit that Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time.
And before I tell you what really went down, Joe Rogan broke it down. Plain and simple. If this were prime Tyson, Jake wouldn't even make it to the second round bell. Have you seen the Marvis Frazier fight? Rogan said, shaking his head. That wasn't a fight, it was an execution. Sure, Tyson at 58 isn't the same beast he once was. But Rogan still isn't buying into the Jake Paul hype. The guy's eating raw meat and sweating through interviews like he's training for the apocalypse. Rogan said he's still terrifying. As for Jake, Rogan figures he's probably somewhere pretending he's not frantically Googling how to back out of a fight without looking weak. Even with Tyson decades past his prime, Rogan sees this as a mismatch of epic proportions. It's like pitting a lion against a house cat, he said. Jake might think he's a big deal, but Tyson has smashed grown men for fun. Good luck with that.
So we had Mike Tyson in when he was 300 pounds. And he was just eating and having fun and smoking weed. He goes, I don't even work out. He goes, if I work out, it'll excite myself. It'll excite my ego. And then I don't like that person. So he just decided that he was just going to be chill Mike Tyson. And then he got this offer to fight Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So he gets in insane shape. And the next time I see him, the second podcast we do, Mike now weighs 230 pounds.
Mike Tyson, the man, the myth, the table destroyer. According to Joe Rogan, there's a dark chamber in Tyson's mind, and he's pretty sure that door is wide open. In fact, Tyson left such an impression on Rogan that he literally redesigned his podcast table. Why? Because a 300-pound Tyson, casually munching snacks and smoking a joint, had Joe questioning his life choices in real time. I don't work out, Tyson had said. Why? Because working out feeds his ego, and that version of Tyson, no one wants to see him unleashed. Fast forward to his fight with Roy Jones Jr., and suddenly he's down to 230 pounds of pure muscle. That's when Rogan started seriously reconsidering the width of his table for his own safety.
Mike Tyson, people talk to. There's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation.
The fight with Roy Jones Jr. wasn't a brawl, it was more like light sparring served with a side of nostalgia. Rogan's convinced the two had a silent, don't punch me in the head, gentleman's agreement. And honestly, it makes sense. Isn't exactly built like Tyson, as Rogan put it. Tyson is a different mass entirely, a human wrecking ball with a dense, terrifying frame. But this Jake Paul fight, no such head-punching restrictions. It's all systems go. And Tyson, reportedly, breathing like a man who's about to rearrange someone's face.
Speaking of Mike Tyson, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Oh, the sheer audacity of some people. There are actually folks out there who believe Jake Paul stands a real chance against Mike Tyson. Seriously, let's unpack this absurdity and set the record straight. Yes, Tyson is 57, pushing 58, but age alone doesn't mean he's out of the fight. Sure, his prime is in the rear view and he's taken serious hits from legends like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. But comparing that to the skill set of an internet-famous boxer like Jake Paul, that's not just a stretch, it's laughable.
There's not a chance in hell that Jake Paul would survive against the Mike Tyson that beat Marvis Frazier. You ever watch that fight?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mike Tyson fight, because that was Mike Tyson before he won the title. It was ABC Wide World.
Let's put this into perspective. George Foreman was 45 when he reclaimed the heavyweight title, knocking out Michael Mora with a punch so perfectly timed it's still studied by boxers today. And Foreman didn't stop there, he kept fighting. Until he was 48, even going toe-to-toe with Shannon the Cannon Briggs and giving him a serious run for his money.
Placement and human growth hormone and peptides.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mike Tyson, yeah, he's 57, but he got access to
everything.
Everything.
And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation that I've talked to some people that do that. And it has massive benefits of rehabilitating injuries.
Now, that was back in the day before aging fighters had access to modern biohacking miracles. Tyson? He's got access to all of it. Testosterone replacement therapy, human growth hormone, peptides, you name it. It's probably part of his regimen. This isn't your average 57-year-old who gets winded climbing stairs. This is a scientifically optimized machine on a mission to prove he's still a force to be reckoned with. And then there's the electric stimulation training Tyson's been using. This isn't some flashy gimmick hits, cutting-edge neuromuscular electrical stimulation NMES technology. It sends controlled impulses through the body, making muscles contract while you work out. Picture doing squats or deadlifts while your muscles are being jolted into overdrive. The payoff, faster recovery, increased blood flow, and even rehab support for lingering injuries. Tyson used this tech ahead of his fight with Roy Jones Jr. And word is, it's a core part of his current training camp, too.
And Tyson smashing the mitts, like, Jesus. That guy can still fuck you up.
He don't want to fight Mike.
In this world with hormone replacement and vitamins and he does all this electrical muscular stimulation recovery stuff. Like when they were training Mike for that Roy Jones fight, like they were using state-of-the-art science.
Here we go. The Logan Paul Appreciation Society in full swing. Yes, Logan Paul, the YouTube star turned pro wrestling daredevil, now celebrated for launching himself off ropes, like he's trying out for the next Fast and Furious sequel. Wild stuff, folks. And Jake Paul, we're apparently supposed to forget he got famous filming pranks and just sit back in awe of his boxing career. Sure, let's conveniently overlook that split decision loss to Tommy Fury. Actual undefeated, boxer impressive. Maybe, groundbreaking. Not even close.
Mike Tyson just fucking bobbing and weaving. He's going to have a recognition. Yeah. He's going to look over and go, oh my God, that's really Mike Tyson. Yeah. Like, look at this.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Dude, I'm talking, it's still at 55. And at 55, the power is the last thing to go. But the thing is, the speed is still there.
Yeah.
He's fucking terrifying.
Now, let's dive into the Mike Tyson Fantasy League where Jake Paul finds himself staring across the ring at none other than Mike freaking Tyson. Because clearly, nothing screams brilliant matchmaking like tossing a 20-something into the ring with a man who, even in his mid-50s, could still crush a ribcage without breaking a sweat. Tyson, armed with state-of-the-art science, hormone therapies, and enough electrical muscle stimulation to power a small city, is still absolutely terrifying. But hey, Who doesn't love a wildly unbalanced spectacle? And then there's Roy Jones Jr., who stepped into the ring with Tyson wearing what looked like a please don't single quotes T-hit-me-in-the face clause. Smart, honestly. Yet somehow, Roy still found the energy to box Anthony Pettis at 54. Because why not? Nothing says living legend like testing your limits against someone who hasn't logged a lifetime of wars in the ring. Split decision. Loss aside, Roy still clearly loves the grind, a strange blend of nostalgia and questionable life choices.
Mike Tyson. And then he got this offer to fight Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So he gets in insane shape. And the next time I see him, the second podcast we do, Mike now weighs 230 pounds.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when recalling his second encounter with Mike Tyson and somewhere in the middle of the chaos, Jake Paul's name suddenly crashed into the conversation. It was a stark contrast to their first meeting, where Tyson was all about staying calm and avoiding anything that might stir up his inner beast. But once Tyson got the call to fight Roy Jones Jr., the transformation was nothing short of biblical. Suddenly, Tyson was back in full fight mode, terrifying everyone in the room, including Rogan himself. Even the width of the podcast table was carefully calculated to keep a safe distance from the legend.
Kevin Hart said it best. He goes, it's like being in a room with a lion. Like, even if the lion is...
Jamie Foxx's old joke is like someone let a pit bull let loose in the room. They don't know whose it is.
And then Jamie's got to play him in a movie, which has got to be terrifying. Like, don't piss...
But here's where it gets wild. After Tyson's match with Jones, Rogan couldn't help but compare the whole spectacle to the rise of guessed it, Jake Paul. Jake Paul's out here calling himself a boxer, Rogan said, practically rolling his eyes through the screen. Can you even imagine Jake stepping into the ring with someone like Tyson? Forget just needing a table, he'd need a moat. And don't forget Kevin Hart and Jamie Foxx's warnings about being in the same room as Tyson. Jamie Foxx famously joked, it's like someone unleashed a bull without telling you who it is. Rogan couldn't agree more. You don't poke the bear, the lion, or whatever apex predator Tyson happens to be that day. Then Rogan dropped the hammer. Jake Paul is no Tyson. Not even close. Sure, the kid's got hustle, but stepping into the ring with a legend like Tyson, that's a one-way ticket to the ER. I hope Jake's ego can take a punch. Rogan said, because his face definitely can't take Tyson's.
That Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not.
Is Jake Paul a legitimate boxer? Absolutely. If your definition of legitimate means knocking out retirees and testing himself against athletes who moonlight as fighters, strip away the YouTube origins and influencer hype. And when you actually watch him fight, he looks competent, not flailing. Not cartoonishly bad, just a guy who knows how to throw punches without falling over. If he weren't Jake Paul the YouTuber, maybe we'd all be calling him the future of boxing. Or maybe not. Now, about this Tyson situation, Jake's apparently willing to step into the ring with Mike Tyson. Yes, that Mike Tyson, who at 57 still carries an aura powerful enough to scare Jake into shadow boxing. Bold move, right? But here's the catch. Tyson might not be the unstoppable human wrecking machine that once crushed Marvis Frazier in 30 seconds. Let's be real, didn't just lose that fight. He basically attended the funeral of his boxing career.